have a shot of freedom here in the doghouse today. Welcome to Dog Days. And I'm your hostess with the mostest, Holly B. And today we have a very special guest with us, the owner of Freedom Whiskey Company, Krista Hollingsworth. Welcome to the doghouse.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Wonderful. So this is a little bit different. This is kind of like primarily a cannabis show, but I think it kind of goes hand in hand. You know, have a little whiskey, have a little cannabis. Sounds like a good time to me.
Yes, absolutely.
So Chris, do you want to go ahead and share a little bit about your story and what you got going on over there at Freedom Whiskey Company?
Absolutely. Yes. So I'm the owner of Freedom Whiskey Company. Freedom Whiskey was founded by my previous husband, Zach. He was a captain in the Marine Corps. He started the company in 2017, and what he wanted to do is, wanted to create a really good tasting whiskey. But his kind of biggest, mission and goal was to give back to veterans. When we started the company in 2017, later that year, we started the first annual Freedom Whiskey Veterans Day event. He wanted it to be, kind of like just a big party, wedding reception, type feel. But then also very military and, kind of ceremonial, for the first half. So that year, we decided to raise money for the Fisher House Foundation. So every year we would raise money for a different veteran charity. That year we raised about $6,000, and we were really excited. We had only had the company around for a few months. We had just had our son actually on 9/11 that year. So he had a newborn baby. To raise $6,000, have about 100 people attend, that was, very exciting for us. So, and then, each year we kept having the event. The company was growing pretty quickly. He was getting us into about 5 states a year. We were selling online while he also had a full-time job at Wright Pat Air Force Base as a civilian contractor. So he just kind of, did it all. So again, each year the event was raising more money. Unfortunately, tragically, Zach had been suffering from depression and PTSD for many, many years. And definitely, deployment and coming back and getting out of the Marine Corps and trying to adapt to, civilian life. It many, many years of a lot of internal struggles he had been dealing with. So he passed away. He lost that battle towards the end of 2021, is October 8th of 21. Obviously it was very sudden, tragic, just, the worst time of our lives. I honestly, at first, I didn't even think about the whiskey company at all. I thought of our son had just turned 4, and, just making sure that he was, adapting to this, major change, myself, our family, friends. So, I really kind of put the company on the back burner. At first I thought there's no way, I had worked in property management for about 10 years at that time. So, I wanted to keep doing something that was familiar and comfortable for me. And I just thought, I'm not a veteran. Zach was this, big buff 6'4" Marine. And I'm like, I'm not anywhere close to, to him, and, being an entrepreneur and a whiskey connoisseur. And, I kind of, told myself that I couldn't do it, but I also didn't want to do it. It was just too hard. So thankfully, and those first couple years after Zach passed, family and friends just kind of jumped in to, help any way they could to keep, the company going. We continued to have that Veterans Day event. And the year that he passed, we still had it in November. That year, we ended up raising over $32,000 for a foundation that was started, that he helped start that year. And then since then, the event just continues to grow, continues to raise more money. Last year's event, we raised over $64,000 for 2 local veteran charities. So So yeah, the event is just, it that I think was kind of, after I started getting involved with the events after he passed, that kind of made me see that, the company, we're still very small. We're a very small, whiskey company. It's very competitive out there. But to see the impact that it is making, in Ohio and in I live close to Dayton. So in that, Dayton community, for our veterans and, their families and, raising awareness for, mental health struggles. And so to see that impact, that event was making, that kind of, kind of pushed me towards, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can, see what I can do to continue helping veterans, run the company, hopefully, try to get it to a place of growth again. So yeah, so I quit my job about a year ago in property management and have been, just working on growing the business and, keeping those, fundraising events going and just growing them and doing what I can for, for veterans and their families and first responders.
Holy cow. Well, hats off to you, Krista. Wow, you are a definite soldier in your own right, for sure. You are in the trenches. You're picking yourself up by your bootstraps. You are living by our core values. So hats off to you. And as far as I'm concerned, you're a fellow soldier.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. So, and that is a very serious topic, the PTSD epidemic that veterans silently deal with a lot whenever they come back from deployment and also, just across the board there. So, thank you for shedding light on that very serious and important topic that is such a hit to the veteran community. I think we all, as veterans, know somebody or know of somebody who has lost their battle. So, thank you so much for bringing this important topic to light. We appreciate that for sure.
Of course.
So let's go ahead. Let's dive into the whiskey. Let's talk about what kind of products that you guys are doing. Let's see if I can get there. Oh, here's your freedom gear. Let's talk about that since I accidentally clicked on it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So yeah, we have tons of great merchandise there. That plaque, that barrel lid actually has become very popular. I just started, having those made and posting them to be for sale a couple weeks ago, and I've already sold like 13 of them. So very, very popular item. And then all the shirts are so comfortable. I'm wearing one here, a black Freedom Whiskey, and then on the back has the logo. But yeah, just a lot of them. Some of them are the original. The one that, let's see, scroll down a little bit.
So this is the one you're wearing right now?
Yes. Yep.
Well, see, I like that whenever companies take into consideration that women don't like to look like boxes.
Right.
Yep. So to have like that female t-shirt cut, that's definitely a plus. So,
Yep.
hey, female veterans out there, you don't have to look like a box wearing Freedom Whiskey Company t-shirts.
Nope. We've got women's, and of course men's. And then, so the one in the middle that has the logo small, right there. Yes. So the back of that, it says, on the back, it says, "Whiskey tastes like the tears of my enemy." And then the Freedom logo. And, Zach came up with that and people absolutely love it. I mean, and I have people telling me so often that, they were wearing their shirt around and they got stopped by so many people like, "Where did you get that shirt? Where did you," like, I have to get one. So very, very popular. So yeah, very, very popular shirt. And then we also, so if you see the dog tags there, so a very unique kind of characteristic of our bottle. So once you see the bottle, the logo, everything Zach came up with, also the dog tags, every bottle will come with one on it. And it'll say something different. A lot of them lately, say in memory of, Captain Zach Hollingsworth, never forget, Semper Fi. but you can have them personalized. So you can purchase a personalized one right through our website. So many people get them for, whether it is a retirement from the military, or if you are just, obviously you don't have to be in the military to get one. If you're just very, a very veteran supported, a 4th of July, housewarming gift, or, anything like that, people have those made. So it just adds a nice little touch to, a gift. But yeah, so a lot of great t-shirts, the hat at the top. And then we also have whiskey glasses, shot glasses, koozies, and decals. And then, we donate to, I'd say 40 to 50 different, organizations throughout the year, whether it's monetary donations or, merchandise donations for raffle baskets, to help raise money at that fundraising event. And, we do our Veterans Day event. And then we also did a summer event a few weeks ago. But I have people that are like, if I just want to donate, to you guys, to the company, like I support you, I want the company to do well. I want you guys to continue, your mission of supporting veterans. So you can always go there and donate that way too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, perfect. Beautiful. Because the last thing you want it to do is have people like have to dig around and search for a place to donate their money. So that's very clever. And I love the dog tag, the customizable dog tag. It's almost like that Maker Mark has that handcrafted red, thing on the top of it with a candle. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's all handcrafted and special. So I kind of get that vibe from the dog tag thing. That's pretty cool.
And then another unique thing with the label of the bottle, Zach actually came up with a toast that's on the side of it. It comes on every single bottle, and it's very, it gets me every time. Still, when I read it, it's just very emotional. And so, anyone that goes out there, buys a bottle, sees that toast on there, it's a very kind of impactful, detail of the label, considering, Zach came up with it.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm getting the goosebumps. So here we go. You have small batch whiskey, the small batch straight bourbon. You also have barrel rested gin.
So we did used to sell barrel rested gin. I'm in the works of trying to get it back on shelves again. It was something that Zach kind of tried just to see how it go. And there's some customers that absolutely loved it. It just, whiskey is just right now, sells, kind of better than gin. So, but I am still, in the works of trying to get it back out there just to, for those who enjoyed it, can purchase it again. But right now we don't have it, on shelves anywhere.
Okay, cool. So you have the small batch straight bourbon whiskey, and then what is this one over here?
The cask strength, yes. So the red label, that one's going to be the middle one is 90 proof, where the cask strength is about anywhere between 112 to 117 proof. So it's going to be a little bit stronger. It kind of has more of a kick or bite to it, but it actually, a lot of people, and I agree, it tastes a little bit sweeter. So, but they're both very good. It just depends on, what you prefer, and if you're drinking it straight or if you're mixing it, with something. But yes, we have those two available in stores, and also working on the ability to sell online again. So that should be coming very soon.
Ooh, nice. And I just saw up here the states that you guys are in stock in. So let's take a real quick at that, and we can do a shout out. We have Florida, lucky, Kentucky, Montana. Okay, so I could, from Wyoming, if I'm hanging out in Billings, check out a liquor store and maybe pick up a couple cases of
Yeah, we actually, and if you click on each state, it'll show you all the locations that carry it. Montana, we're only in 2. So Montana, yes, it's a very, very selective state as far as, the liquor stores and what they sell. But the rest of the states, a lot of them we have, here in Ohio, we have about 200 locations that carry it. So other states definitely, have more locations, but yeah, so definitely all over in Ohio, and then Wisconsin and West Virginia are other two, pretty big states for us. And we're also getting ready to launch in Colorado. So hopefully, I'm thinking sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be able to add Colorado to the list as well.
Oh, yes, fun. Please do.
Yes.
And Wyoming too. I know they kind of have they have this Wyoming whiskey that everybody is like all in awe about or whatever here. But give them a little competition. Bring some Freedom
Yeah.
whiskey. Awesome. So let's see. Looked at that. Oh, the vet. I wanted to talk a little bit more about uh your charity. What was the name of it again? Make sure that it's out there in people's heads.
Yeah, so we have a fund that is set up through it's called the Dayton Foundation. Yes, that was a couple years ago. We raised money for Blue Skies for the Good Guys and Good Gals, their Warrior Weekend to Remember, which is an incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm so blessed to have met these group of people. The last 2 years, I've been a part of their Warrior Weekend to Remember, and they bring in people from all over. And it's everyone that comes to this weekend, it's Purple Heart recipients and then Gold Star families. So my son and my in-laws actually attended last year as a new Gold Star family. And then I was an ambassador this past, actually just a few weeks ago, for a new Gold Star family as well. So the weekend is incredible. I mean, it's just, it's a weekend of support and love and, just camaraderie. And we went skydiving. We go to the range. I mean, it is just, there's so many cool things we do. And then every night they call it the bond fire. So we go out and, someone's out there, having almost like a little concert around a bonfire. And then that's where people just, you can open up even more and, just be there for one another and, kind of share the, some similar experiences, that, we've all gone through. So highly recommend, following and, donating or, looking to be a part of Blue Skies. Very incredible organization. But yeah, so our fund that, the money that we raise at our Veterans Day event, it is the Captain Hollingsworth Freedom Whiskey Memorial Fund. So we set that fund up after Zach passed. Once we started raising, $30, $40, $50,000, we set that up through the Dayton Foundation. And so our event, the Veterans Day event, this year is actually going to be November 1st in Miamisburg, Ohio, at the Miamisburg Moose. So this will be our 8th annual Freedom Whiskey Veterans Day event, which is hard to believe. It feels like just yesterday, Zach was like, hey, let's do a Veterans Day event, and I'm like, oh, you mean like next year? Because it was at that time, like October. And he's like, no, like next month. I'm like, okay, let's do this. So it's just, it's hard to believe that was, coming up on 8 years ago. So
Wow.
just to see the growth, that the event has had, it's, I think he would be very, very proud. And I don't think he ever, I don't think anyone would have expected that, in the first 7 years that total, the events raised over $200,000 for local veteran charities. So yeah, it's been an incredible, ride with the event.
Well, this is amazing stuff, Krista. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything you would like to leave with the audience? Like, when is your next upcoming event and how can people help?
Yes. Yeah. So our next Veterans Day event, November 1st, I'm getting ready. Probably this weekend is when I will post tickets to be sold. So, follow our website, follow us on Facebook. That's where I post all of our updates. which is Have a Shot of Freedom. Yep, there you go. Have a Shot of Freedom Whiskey Co. So definitely follow us on there. But yes, you'll be able to go to our website and purchase tickets, or, donate. If you're not able to actually attend the event, you can definitely donate. And then you can also go to our website and subscribe to be on our email list. I send out about every other week an email, so it's not something you'll be getting every day and get tired of us or anything. So but yeah, and then once I announce that we're selling online or in a new state, go and purchase Freedom. If you're not a whiskey drinker, I'm sure you know someone who is one. So, always use it as a gift. And people also, a lot of times they keep the bottles. They collect the dog tags and try to get, as many different ones as they can, or, it has the date that it was bottled. So it's really cool to be able to go back and be like, oh, wow, this was back in 2020, batch number 25. So yeah, it's cool to keep. And sometimes people make, lights or candles or, flower vases out of, it's just a really cool, bottle and label. And he did a great job.
Absolutely. This is an awesome product, an awesome cause. So definitely I'm going to keep my eyes on you guys and start following. So, hey, thank you so much for spending some time with me today here in the doghouse. And until next time, folks, stay safe out there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.